Yeah, what have I discovered? So, what I have discovered about being a woman raised in a patriarchal context is that there are two typical ways for a woman to survive in that context. And the one survival strategy for women in patriarchy is to do everything to obtain the protection of a man. And in the best case, it's the strongest, the smartest, the most beautiful, the most powerful, or the richest man in the space, yeah? And we learn to do it with all the means at our disposal, yeah? To get the attention of the man and get the protection of those men. This is the one strategy, the first strategy to survive in patriarchy for a woman. And the other strategy is to train your masculine qualities and to try to be a better man. Yeah. So typical survival patterns that emerge from that is that women do everything to please men and to manipulate men into protecting them and taking care of them. Yeah, we use everything we have to do that. And this also means that there is always a hidden rivalry and competition between women about the best men. And you know, as we are women, we know what we are capable of to achieve this. So that's why we often find the company of women threatening, especially when it's a bigger circle of women, and if we don't know those women, then yeah, it feels threatening to us. And for me personally, you know, I found it very comfortable to be a woman because both of those strategies came very easily to me. I learned very early, I think already as a child, how to seduce men so that they were mine, yeah, that they belonged to me and that they protected me from the meanness of other women. So I used everything, you know, I used beauty and I used my Italian charm, and I think I also used energetic tools or also emotional tools, you know, to manipulate men. And also taking on a male role was not a problem for me either. So I fitted very well in that cultural context, and I was happy to be a woman. And then I participated in my first women's lab in my late 30s. And I was really frightened. I was really terrified. I never have been so afraid of a training as I was of this one. And that was when I first became aware of the fact that women in patriarchy live in a hidden competition and that we use our refined weapons against each other. And the first thing that we did back then in this women's lab was to put our weapons on the table, yeah, to open up our arsenal, our weapon chamber, so that it became visible to all the women in the space. And this was really, on the one hand, it was very powerful, and on the other hand, it made us very sad also. So there was a lot of sadness about this in the space. And after that, we could relax. And then we could really, we could find out, we could research how beneficial or how nurturing and how beautiful a non-competitive women's community can be. And I never experienced that before. It was so beautiful. And I would never have guessed it before that this was possible, you know. Because in our culture, in our modern culture, we usually don't have such spaces. We are always in competition. So if this sounds interesting to you and you would like to experience that and to research together with other women about our cultural and familial conditioning and what is possible when we go beyond this conditioning, then you are very welcome to join us at the Women's Lab in Portugal at the second weekend in May 2023. We look forward to seeing you. Bye.